Hey gaming fans, so today's another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile, and this one is Ice Barrier. This is a deck that I've been, messing around with for a very long time, ever since they came out, and I've tried many different variants, and it's been a while since I've built this deck, so I thought I'd try again, and so I've been fiddling around with this, so I thought I'd show it off and see if I can get some kind of reaction, or see if I can get some tips, or what you guys think. So anyways, so this is the first ice barrier I'm playing, and it's Secret Guards of the Ice Barrier. So it's a level 2 Aqua 100 attack, 16 defense. Face up ice barrier monsters you control cannot be targeted by the effects of your opponent's effect monsters. So that's pretty good because a lot of effect monsters are running around today. So, getting that out there. But I also have him there because of his level, and I'll get to that as well. Defender of the Ice Barrier is the next one. So I got two of these as well. While you control another face-up Ice Barrier monster, monsters your opponent controls cannot declare an attack if their attack is greater than this card's defense. So it's 1600 defense, so it could stall a little bit. It's a level 3 tuner though, and that's mainly why it's in the deck. And the next one is Prior of the Ice Barrier. This guy is awesome. This is the whole reason to build the deck. I've messed around with the numbers on this guy. I used to always play him in 3, but I'm trying him now in 2. Because I always felt that you just keep drawing him when you didn't need him, or you draw him on your opening hand too often. Plus you can get him back in this deck. But basically, if you control a face-up Ice Barrier monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. However, you cannot special summon a level 5 or higher monster the turn you use that effect. So it's kind of got a downside to that. But if you don't use the effect, you just normal summon it, you can tribute this card to target one Ice Barrier monster in your graveyard and special summon that target, other than himself, of course. But you wouldn't want to. You'd want to probably grab one of your really big guys. So the next one is Strategist of the Ice Barrier. Again, another card that I usually always play in 3, but now I'm trying him in 2. He pretty much is just a draw card, and he gets stuff into the graveyard because this is a very graveyard dependent deck. But once per turn you send one Ice Barrier monster from your hand to the graveyard to draw one card. Pretty simple effect. He's a spellcaster, level 4, so he's good for Synchro material. Now we get into the bigger ones. So I got, just go to this one first. So this guy's General Rao of the Ice Barrier. He's okay, so he's got 2100 attack and 2300 defense, single tribute monster, and when an effect resolves by your opponent's effect monster, they can discard a card. If they don't, the effect is negated. So this can get very, very draining on your opponent if they have to keep discarding a card to activate their monster effects. This one here is Daisojo of the Ice Barrier. So he's when this card is normal or flip summon, he's changed to defense positions, and he pretty much protects all your Ice Barriers from spells and traps. So might be a good one to just pull out if your opponent's playing a lot of spells and trap heavy style of a deck and you want to protect your Ice Barrier monsters. Then I got one of the Medium of the Ice Barrier. This one's kind of neat. It's sort of like a Cyber Dragon in a sense. If your opponent controls 4 or more cards than you do, not monsters, but cards, you can special summon this card from your hand, and your opponent can only activate one spell or trap per turn. So this could, also be very troublesome to your opponent. Then, for probably one of the best beat sticks in the deck, I put 2 General Gantala of the Ice Barriers. He's a 2700 beat stick, but once per turn during your end phase, you could select one Ice Barrier monster in your graveyard and special summon it, just like that. So you don't need to do anything else. Your end phase, you get the special summon an Ice Barrier monster from the graveyard. And as a good target for his effect, I decided to throw in General Gunnard of the Ice Barrier, if I'm saying that right. During your main phase, you can normal summon one Ice Barrier monster in addition to your regular normal summon. So it can help you if you need to get the monsters out onto the field for your synchro summoning plays, or if you want to Xyz. But mainly he's 2800 beat stick, and he's a good target for this guy. This guy cannot target himself, so keep that in mind as well. So if you have another copy of him in the grave, you can't summon him. And then just for some extenders, I threw in Fortune Fairy Sui. You might get her effect off if you draw it. You basically special summon it. It's a 0/0. It's here for its level 4. But it also has another ability. You can target one other face-up monster on the field and banish it until the standby phase. Of your next turn. So you can get rid of an opponent's pesky monster if you really need to, or banish one of yours just to protect it for that one turn. And the last two monsters, Lapis Dragons. So two of these, they're tuners, and they're level 5. So it was a little bit tricky to build a deck with these guys because, level 5 tuner, you need to have something, unless you're going to tune into something really, really big. So that's why I got these level 2 guys here, just to, make your level 7 Synchro plays. But this guy works really well in the deck because if he's added from your deck to your hand, so if you draw him some way, which you can do in this deck, you could reveal him and special summon it just like the Sui. And when he's added from the graveyard to your hand, you could do the same thing, but then he gets banished when he leaves the field. But that's okay. And then he's 0 attack, which makes him a good target for salvage, which I'll get to in the spells. So that's pretty much the monster lineup for now. So for the spells, we got 3 Medallion of the Ice Barriers. Really good searcher. Searches any Ice Barrier monster from your deck to your hand. It's always cool when an archetype has a card like that, just like Toon Table of Contents and all that. Because your levels are all over the place, I figure Reasoning is a perfect choice. I mean, you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So when you're playing with multiple levels, it's always good to have a Reasoning in there. Instant Fusion, because this is a Synchro deck, and I do have some Xyz monsters, but I mean, you really do need that help. It's a shame it's at 1, but we have to work with what we got. Monster Reborn, again, you need monsters. This special summons a lot from the graveyard, and Monster Reborn is like the perfect card for that. Similar to Monster Reborn, we have Surface. Surface is good because you target a level 3 or lower fish, sea serpent, or aqua type monster from your graveyard and special summon it and face up defense. So that would be your either your Priors, which will now allow you to pretty much turn this into a Monster Reborn, because then you can tribute him to special summon any of your Ice Barrier monsters. Or you can grab your Defender of the Ice Barrier, which is a tuner, or if you just need the level 2, whatever, just to help Synchro into something. And probably the best card in this deck, 3 Salvage, because you want to be able to grab your stuff. You can grab this guy back and special summon him right away. And if you had a tuner in your graveyard as well, or sorry, a non-tuner I should say, like this guy, you can grab both these targets with Salvage, special summon him, normal summon him, go right into a Synchro summon. So pretty cool. Also, if you need cards for discard fodder and stuff like that, that helps. And I figured, I kept seeing this card when I was going through my spells. Mass Change 2. Now this is a full water deck pretty much. And I think the, water has some pretty good masked heroes. So, and it's a special summon, so if you only draw a weak water monster, you can turn it into a big, masked hero monster if you need to. 1 Foolish Burial, because you're, again, graveyard heavy deck. You want to be able to throw stuff into the graveyard. You want to get your big guys, that 2700 beater guy. You want to get him in there. You want to get whatever you need into the graveyard. And of course, every water deck pretty much likes to have some draw power, and they usually use Moray of Greed, which is shuffle 2 water monsters from your hand into your deck and then draw 3 cards. And again, with the Salvage, you can grab 2 cards right there. You've just made your, requirement for Moray of Greed to shuffle them into your deck and draw a hand of 3 cards. So, pretty good. And then for some back row hate, Twin Twisters, it's good to also be able to discard out of your hand. Again, because you want them in the graveyard. You want the big monsters in the graveyard, and if you draw them, you're probably not going to normal summon them, so get them out of your hand. And you get to deal with your opponent's back row. Then for traps, nothing special. I decided on Regeki Break, only because I couldn't think of anything else. I just wanted something else to discard with, and just be able to destroy something on the field. I was originally playing this at 2, but I had to take it out for Foolish Burial. And then, again, 3 solemns, just for some kind of, defense. Your plays can be pretty slow in the beginning, so this will help you set up. And if you do get set up, this might help your plays stay. So, Solemn Judgment, always a good card. So now on to the extra deck. So because I'm playing Mass Change 2, I need my Mass Heroes. So I decided on one of each. So the Vapor, which basically cannot be destroyed by card effects. So he can become annoying if your opponent only plays cards that destroy things. And then Acid, again, just to get rid of back row. So pretty good Mass Heroes there. I needed something for my instant fusion, so I needed targets. So I just grabbed a 3, a 4, and a 5. I mean, these could be any of these fusion monsters. These were just the 3 I had there when I was building the deck. Originally, I was playing, was it Arcane Magician, or one of those cards that required a spellcaster. That's why I had him. But you really don't need to do these specific cards. I just wanted to make sure I had like one of each target for instant fusion, just in case I needed it. For Xyz, I threw in a number 47 Nightmare Shark. It's really just because it's a water deck, so it helps with water. When this card special summon, you could attach one level 3 water monster from your side of the field or hand to the XYZ material of this card, and then once per turn, you could detach one XYZ material from this card, target one water monster you control, and that monster can attack your opponent directly this turn. So it's kind of like water support. And I figure I need a rank 5 at least, just in case my Lapis Dragon and one of my other rank 5s or an instant fusion target, just to pull out a rank 5, and I decided on him, just because he could be a pain in the butt. That's Tyrus, Keeper of the Genesis. You could really throw in any rank 5 that you like. And then on for the Synchro plays, Bryonic Dragon of the Ice Barrier. He's a good Ice Barrier card. It's good to always play the Ice Barriers if you got them. And he's got a pretty good effect. You can discard any number of cards, return the same number of cards from the field to the hand. So, pretty good effect. Black Rose, because I needed level 7 targets for my Synchro summoning. Again, another Ice Barrier card, Gungur, the Dragon of the Ice Barrier. He's once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards to the graveyard, and then select the same number of cards your opponent controls, destroy them. So, pretty good effect. There's also another, I think it's Dulorin of the Ice Barrier, but I don't have that card, but if you have it, throw it in here. Stardust Dragon, just for some level 8 plays, and Colossal Fighter. Again, these are really up to you and your choice and what you like to play. I figure I can go into 9 in this deck because you do have the level 5 tuner, so it's pretty easy to go into 9. So I needed at least one target that had 9 levels. And also Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. He's an Ice Barrier card. You can go into him, so why not play him? And of course a 10, just in case, because this can go into several different levels. So, and that's why the 3 different targets for the instant fusion. But anyways, that's just the way I decided to build it. I wanted to try and stick to more of a pure Ice Barrier variant, and try and see if I can make them work. I know lots of people like to fiddle around with the Ice Barriers, and they're kind of hard. I mean, they're hard to build a deck around. Anyways, let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below. If you have any deck tips, I always love to hear them. Any ideas, throw it down below. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.